Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and I don't have any news around the Raiders per se to break down, but I do have some breaking news that absolutely impacts the Las Vegas Raiders. The Kansas City Chiefs have traded away star wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Throw those peace signs down in the comments section. I see you, Freddie. To the Miami Dolphins. Now, this was a story, man, that came up very, very quickly today. And I think it's the perfect example of this is the craziest NFL offseason of all time. And there's no debating it. It's the craziest NFL offseason of all time. And if you think for a second that, anything is possible, right? Anything is possible. This is the NFL offseason. So what we're going to be doing here on today's show is we're going to be having a good time. I'm going to celebrate because even though, sure, Tyreek is still in the AFC, he's no longer in the AFC West. And even though, sure, the Broncos, the Chargers are winners, and so are the Dolphins, the Las Vegas Raiders are absolute winners as well. So if you guys are ready to party, keep throwing those deuces signs in there. And as soon as we get some supers, as soon as we get some questions on this show, we're going to be ready to rock and roll. So let me know, y'all, what was your one-word reaction when you saw the news go down that Tyreek got traded? As soon as I got the initial report from Rapoport that was coming out hey, Tyreek could be actually moved on from, the Jets and the Dolphins are interested, I was like, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. So then we got the whole team here at Chat Sports. We're scrambling around, getting everyone ready to rock and roll, getting everyone going. I made a show over on Chat Sports, and I was like, hey, if the deal goes down, I got to come over here to Raider Nation. We got to celebrate. So give me those one-word reactions. I got deuces in there. We got Ian Punchy 33 says, dude, deuces from SJ Hitman 50 or 85. Narian just throwing up the peace sign. WTF from Dave. FUCCEM. You guys can say it out loud from Raider Ray. Reb Chrysler says yes. Thank you from Frank. Dodge says yes. Wow from Hector Gaming. Guys, not only are we live on YouTube, we are also live on Rumble, and if you guys are ready to rumble, if y'all are ready to party, let's get it going here because I know this, man. I am ready to keep this show going all day today if we really have to because this trade does really, really help. That one doesn't make any sense. So, I would say for Tyreek Hill getting dealt, let's get the trade details. How about that? So today's show is going to be a little bit different, just so everyone knows. We got the Tyreek Hill trade details, and the Miami Dolphins, they got Tyreek. The Kansas City Chiefs got a first, a second, and a fourth-round pick this year, and then a fourth and a sixth-round pick next year as well. So originally, Kansas City obviously was looking for 2 first-round picks, which I don't really blame them. But when I want you to look at this, there's a part of me that wonders, was the Raiders trade with Davante Adams the engine that really started this deal going down with Kansas City? Because it sounds like Davante got his deal. Tyreek was probably like, well, if Davante Adams is if Davante is getting that much money, that's how much money I want. Kansas City, you ain't getting that. So then he was like, all right, cool. I'm out. I'm leaving because from what it sounds like, over the past few days is when the negotiations, when everything came out of stall. So I get this deal right here. It's a clear win for the Miami Dolphins, by the way. It's not even close. I see the super chats in there. We'll get to them in a sec. However, when you compare this, and then you got to think about the fact that Tyreek's deal is 4 years, $120 million with $72 million guaranteed, compared to Davante Adams' deal, I think Tyreek is an incredible player. We'd all agree on that. But Davante Adams is the better receiver, right? Who's the better receiver? Tyreek Hill or Davante Adams? Both incredible players. And you can make a realistic argument that Tyreek might be the better offensive weapon. Sure, cool. Shout out to Trace for making this. But Davante Adams is the better receiver. So let's go ahead and show Davante some love. Also, Adams, I appreciate you giving everyone here on the Raiders Report a shout-out yesterday during your live show. I know who he was talking about. You guys know who he was talking about. live podcast. Guess what? Live video podcast. That's us. The #1 most watched Raiders show. Sorry to everyone else that thought it was y'all. It's us. So type TH for Tyreek Hill or DA for Davante Adams. I got a lot of DAs, and I'm almost saying, well, duh. I know the nation's going to go ahead and spam DA, but let's give some shout-outs here anyway. I got Jeff Rogers, Troy Jenkins, Jonathan Ayalia Morales, Manny, Captain Rex, Jonathan Hernandez, Christian, Anderson Scott. Keep them coming in here. What up, Meek? We got Jose, Tropical Remy, Swayze, Jaime Alvarado, Juicehead 89, Jack Hostel. Keep them coming. Let's get those DAs flowing here in the chat. And since this is a live show, if you go ahead and you super chat, we will put your questions or your comments up on screen, and we're just going to answer every single super chat that comes on in here. Let's go to Kid Cupid 07. Mitch, it's the kid. Mitch, you going to eat a chip for this one. This guy crushed and haunted my dreams all these years. So glad he's gone. I don't plan on eating a chip because, for one, I don't have the hottest chip in the world anymore because, well, we already ate it. And it's like I've seen it be $17 on Amazon. I've also seen it as $5. But either way, that chip kicked my ass. If you guys want to see me eat a chip, I'm sure we can organize that. But kid, man, shout out to you. Let's go to Hanzo. Sportscaster Nick Wright is punching the air. I hate Nick Wright. Let me just say that. I think he's terrible at his job. I understand that sometimes people have to be the bad guy like Skip Bayless and Nick Wright, but I don't really ever think that you could probably blame the television programs for making them act like idiots. Let's go to Ty Davis. It was actually 2 words. Holy HS's, because that's what happened. When I saw this deal go down, when I saw the rumors come in, I was like, man, this is going to happen. And if it does, let's get wild. Let's go to Maxwell. LFG's FKC. 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 Harrison Graham, he runs our Chief Show. He's actually live right now breaking down the move. And when we got the alert today, I was like, how you doing, Harry? You all right? I know, I feel pretty good because the AFC West now, I always thought that the Chiefs were still the best team in the division. However, are the Chiefs now the worst team in the division? I don't know, man. I think it's at least an interesting question. Let's go to Papaya Man. Definitely won't miss him. Jackson Mahomes can have Juju all to himself. And I mean, you're right here. There's no doubt about it. I know when Juju got signed there, nobody anticipated him being the #1. Now, sure, you still have Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce, I still think, is the best receiving tight end in the National Football League. However, I can't wait to see if at the end of this year, because I would say if you were to ask 50 people, if you could take one quarterback, who would it be? I would say more than half would say Patrick Mahomes. Would you say so? However, is that answer going to remain the same after this season? Because could we actually see Patrick Mahomes get exposed? Because, sure, Tyreek's a great receiver, but the amount of creativity that Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy are allowed to have when Tyreek's doing all those pre-snap reads, moving all over the field as much as he does, it can hurt an offense. I'm not going to compare Henry Ruggs to Tyreek Hill, but we saw last season, when you take away an extremely talented athlete, somebody who brings that much speed to the field, and then you take that away from the offense, it can really impact you. I don't care who you are. And now the fact that Mahomes is making $35 million, no longer making those rookie dollars, $45 million next year. You knew when they went ahead and they made that deal that sooner or later you might not be able to go ahead and bring back some of those top guys. Let's go to Jeff. What up, brother? NFL Network just said that the Adams trade forced this win-win for the Raiders. I do think it forced it. And I mean, look at the thumbnail, right? Like, the thumbnail on this video is me saying that I believe the trade ended up forcing this because Davante said, hey, I want to be the highest paid receiver. 5 years, $140 million. That deal ends up going down. Tyreek was talking to the Kansas City Chiefs saying, hey, I want to be the highest paid receiver. And before, it would have been, probably around 20. The original offer, from what the reports are from Shefty, were for $21.5 million. Tyreek Hill. Now that goes up to $30 million. Why? Davante Adams made it happen. Raider Nation made it happen. Dave Ziegler, Josh McDaniels, absolutely killing this offseason right now. How about this question? Because I think it's deserved. Who's the worst team in the AFC West? Is it the Kansas City Chiefs now without Tyreek Hill? Type KC. Is it the Chargers? Type LAC. Is it the Broncos? DEN. Is it the Las Vegas Raiders? Go ahead and type LV. We're going to give some shout-outs here. And Trace, I also want you to make up like a producer cam for you. Move over some of your L3, some stuff to get you some love and get you acclimated here on the show. Also, shout out to the nation right now. We got $69 in Super Chats. Love to see it. That's a real nice number. Who's the worst team in the AFC West? We're getting ready to give some shout-outs here. I can't wait to see how this goes down. Here we go. Kyle Gordon, Denver. TB says AC. Do you mean LAC? I'm not sure. We got KC from David. Moises says LAC. Valdez, KC. Chaps, 831, Denver. Kyle Golden, going to go with the Denver Broncos. Here's what I love seeing. No LVs in there because I'm not going to sit up here and say the Chiefs are the worst team in the AFC West because I still want to see how the offense looks with Juju Smith-Schuster. I believe that they're going to go ahead and they're going to go get MVS Marcus Valdez-Scantling. But Marcus Valdez-Scantling is not going to be able to do even work close to what Tyreek Hill was doing for you. That's all I got to say. Let's go to the next Super Chat. Excuse me. Let's go to Project 1337. I feel like this year will reset the quarterback market, as in quarterbacks are not going to take as much if that means losing their receiver. I think you're bringing up a great point here. I know it's a quarterback-driven league, and I understand that. However, you are really starting to see a lot of these teams that go out and they make these big-time deals for their quarterbacks not have enough money to then keep the great players around that quarterback. Davante Adams is a good example of that. No, Aaron Rodgers gets his deal, Davante is gone. And then in terms of Kirk Cousins got his big-time deal. What happened then? Stephon Diggs, he ends up leaving. Tyreek Hill, after Patrick Mahomes got his deal, then he ends up going. You see it all the time. Like, it happens time and time again. What's really going to be curious is how much money Derek Carr ends up taking on his contract extension. Let's go to Demokes. Shout out to the Jags. They the real MVP. I don't know why the Jags are the real MVP. Not 100% sure about this one. Maybe you mean the Dolphins because the Dolphins made the trade. Demokes, am I right? I don't know. Man. Let's go to Stormtrooper Raider. Rap sheet confirmed. And after Davante's deal shook shit up, Raiders! Get those Raiders down in the comments. David Taken, you're next up here on the Raiders Report. Davante is a better wide receiver by far. Chiefs won't be picking much in this year's draft, and this is good for Raider Nation. I mean, you have the 29th overall pick, the 50th overall pick, I believe, and then one of the fourth-round picks from Miami. So the Chiefs are still going to be able to get talent, and I think that this now all says they're going to go out and they're going to try to get a receiver in the first round. And there's a lot of talented players out there. The one dude who I'd be a little bit worried if he went to Kansas City would be Jahan Dotson, because I've always said that Dotson reminds me, he's quick twitchy enough where he reminds me a little bit of a lesser value Tyreek Hill. But I understand that they got draft picks. This is a great move for every AFC West team and a great move for the Miami Dolphins. Let's get the next Super Chat coming in here from Michael. I know this isn't about safeties, but I honestly would like to know what is going to happen with Abram. Hey, you don't got to apologize, Michael. Also, hope you're doing well, my brother. I think if you have a question that you want to have answered, go ahead and get it answered. In terms of Jonathan Abram, he's only got 1 year left on his deal. There's a 0% chance the Raiders exercise his fifth-year option. If they do, I would be shocked. I don't think it would make any sense either way, because when you look at Jabril Peppers, he did an okay job last season in Patrick Graham's defense, and if I was Las Vegas, that's how I would try to use Jonathan Abram, just on a lesser value. But if you try to trade away Abram, you might get a fifth-round pick, maybe. I mean, if I was an NFL team, I wouldn't offer anything more than a fifth-round pick for Jonathan Abram. Sorry, wouldn't. Let's go to Ty Davis. Got to be honest, we are the number 2 until we fix the offensive line. You know, I'm not going to totally disagree with this. I still think that I can make an argument for all 4 AFC West teams to still be the best. I can also still probably make an argument that all 4 AFC teams are still the worst. And when you really think about this division, it's going to be competitive. And I'm not going to count out Kansas City because You counted out Kansas City last season. They were 3-4. They got the mojo going. They got it going. But I do think for the very first time, this division is not so top-heavy because every single year the Chiefs had the best odds to win the division. When you look at all the divisions in the National Football League, Chiefs always had the best odds. It's not going to happen this year anymore. Not going to happen. Let's go to Valdez. Tyrann Mathieu or Stephon Gilmore. Comes down to price for me. I still think that the guy who would help out the Raiders more would be Stephon Gilmore based on cornerback need. However, I've also said if the Raiders go out and they sign Stephon Gilmore, it wouldn't shock me if that led then to a Trayvon Mullen style of trade. I mean, if you're telling me right now I can get a 5th-round pick for Trayvon Mullen, save $2.54 million, sure, you're going to eat $850,000, but then you got Rocky Sin, Stephon Gilmore, you got Nate Hobbs, Anthony Everett, who, really interesting, I actually thought Anthony Everett, who was brought over from Baltimore and as a free agent, he had a hell of a job. He did a hell of a job stopping Tyreek Hill. He's another quick, twitchy guy on the inside. So when you see some of these names here, it is interesting. But how about y'all go ahead and let me know, who would you rather go out and sign? Type TM for Tyrann Mathieu, or I want you to go ahead and type SG for Stephon Gilmore. Show me those TDs. Let's get it going. As happy as I am that he's out of the division, Chiefs now have cap space and draft capital to either make a trade, address the D, and draft the top wide receiver. You're not wrong. They have all these extra things. You are 100% right. And I might be wrong by saying this, but the Chiefs will not get another Tyreek Hill. I have watched football for 29 years. 29 years. And I want you guys to tell me the last receiver that you saw move the way Tyreek Hill does. Devin Hester was an incredible return man. Cliff Branch had all the speed in the world. Henry Ruggs was incredibly fast. But the way that Tyreek Hill impacted pre-snap, his quick twitch, I have never, and I mean never, ever seen. Maybe Barry Sanders, he played running back with his quick shiftiness, Deion Sanders. Can anybody think of one player that was even close to Tyreek Hill? I see people typing Randy Moss. Randy Moss was straight speed fast. Different, I'm not talking about that. I think Tyreek Hill with his quick twitchy mobility, in and out, I can't think of a name. Steve Smith is an interesting name. However, Steve Smith and Tyreek Hill are not even close on the same level, I think. I think Tyreek Hill would put Steve Smith in a spin cycle. Mike Vick, come on. Mike Vick's not even the most mobile quarterback of all time. He was fun in Madden, but I would take Lamar Jackson over Mike Vick. We got Rocket, all right, Bobby Boucher. There you go. Devin Hester was incredible. I'm not disagreeing with that, but they tried to put Devin Hester as a return or as a receiver. That didn't work. Why? Tyreek Hill is better than all of those players, and I will sit up here and I will say that. Let's go to Alex. The bad man is gone. Raider Nation from the UK. Let me know where you guys are watching from. UK, Germany, or USA, Canada, Mexico. Shout out your country. I know Raider Nation spreads far and wide. I know a lot of people are excited to be here. Dante Hall is actually I like that Dante Hall one. He was quick twitchy. I'm not going to lie. Darren McFadden, no. Come on. Let me know what country you guys watching from. Not city. I'm seeing San Antonio. PG, USA from Brady Hicks. Anthony Allen, USA. Jake Parker says UK. How many people we got from all over the world? We got Philadelphia, Conan. Countries, guys, countries. USA from Rick, Anthony, Bradley. Scotland from Cameron. What up, brother? Jake Parker from the UK. Bonjour. Samoa. Darren McFadden. Julian's laughing at that one. Julian, I mean, McFadden was a good player, but not the same. Not the same. Let's go to David Taken. The Finns won't be much. Laugh out loud. I do think that this is going to make the Dolphins better. And when you look at the fact that Miami was 10-6 2 years ago, 9-8 last season, they go ahead, they move on from Brian Flores. Mike McDaniel's he's been doing a hell of a job. They've upgraded the offensive line. They went out and got Teron Armstead, Connor Williams as well as a left guard. You also were able to re-sign Emmanuel Ogbah. You were able to franchise tag Mike Gesicki. You added 2 running backs in Chase Edmonds and then Raheem Mostert. You're building around Tua. I agree with you that I'm not that worried about the Miami Dolphins. However, Jalen Waddle would probably run under a 4-3. Now you put Tyreek Hill on that offense. Curious to see what happens with Davante Parker. But, Jalen Waddle broke Anquan Bolden's rookie reception record last season. He had 104 as a rookie. Those two guys are really fast, and that's not going to be easy to stop. I'm telling you that right now. So here was the trade that ended up going down. The Miami Dolphins went ahead and they traded for former Chiefs wide receiver. It sounds good, doesn't it? Former Chiefs wide receiver Tyreek Hill. The Kansas City Chiefs get the 29th overall pick, a second and a fourth round pick, and then in 2023, a fourth and a sixth round pick on top of all of that. So this was a big time deal, and I know it's not Raiders news. Mitch, why are you talking about the Chiefs? This is the Raiders report. This guy's been screwing with Las Vegas. This guy has been an absolute dementor to the silver and black for a long time, and if you can get a player like Tyreek Hill out, and I absolutely think, because Ian Rapoport, we've had a few other super chats here on today's show confirm it, that the Davante Adams trade influenced this to happen. As far as I'm concerned, that's pretty damn awesome to me. So go ahead and grade the Tyreek Hill trade. I want you to grade it from a Raiders standpoint because, yes, Kansas City is going to get draft picks, so keep that in mind. They're also going to go ahead and get some extra salary cap space, but they also lose Tyreek Hill. Also, if you see somebody spamming dumb stuff in the comments, yeah, he's gone. We already got rid of him. Remember, guys, we control the comments as well, so if you're going to spam dumb shit, I don't know, at least have it be somewhat worth it. It was a good try, though. A lot of A's. Yeah, we can go to it. A lot of A's. Keep them flowing here in the chat because that's the right answer. What up, Blue Tiger? Is there interest in OBJ or nah? Is there interest? Yes, because I really truly believe that every single NFL team that thinks that they might need a wide receiver will be a little bit interested in OBJ. However, a lot of times, people on Instagram, people on Twitter, they'll use the word report. Report I only use when it comes from a credible source. You can say a rumor that you've heard from somebody that OBJ could be interested in joining the Raiders. That's a rumor. However, is there interest from the Raiders in OBJ? There might be. I wouldn't be surprised. I know they did their due diligence before they went out and got Davante Adams. But Adams and OBJ are also boys. Like, they're really good friends. So, if you remember, OBJ talked to Davante Adams about swapping jerseys early on in the season. This was after Cleveland went ahead and they traded him to the Rams. Packers and Rams played. OBJ tried to trade jerseys with Davante, and Davante said, basically like, get out of here, go trade jerseys with Cooper Kupp. Davante was pissed because they were friends. They were good friends. And I know if I was Davante Adams, I would try to get OBJ over here. Though, if Kenyon Drake wants to try to get 17 away from Tay, he's got to go ahead and throw in a jet. But I would be shocked if the OBJ move ended up happening. However, I do know some people that said that the Raiders were looking at OBJ a few weeks ago. And then I said on the show that personally, I would just rather go out and get Jameson Williams because he's a little bit cheaper. You can't get Jameson Williams now because you don't have a first-round pick. So if OBJ was willing to come on a cheaper contract, I don't know, man. All I'm saying is it'd be pretty interesting, right? Should we go get OBJ? Type OBJ for yes or no BJ for no. Also, everyone give a special shout-out to producer Trace coming on the show wearing his Raiders silver and black.
What up?
Type those TGs, and remember, I'm not the one that puts your questions on the show. Trace is. So if you want to show Trace some love, he told me he'd give some shout-outs to people that went ahead and they followed him on Twitter. So, Trace, let's go to the next super. You spam your Twitter link in there, or you can just go ahead and give him a follow at Trace, and this is how you pronounce it, Gerard48. Trace has been helping me out get through some tough days. He brought in some King's Cake yesterday. He's from Louisiana. He brought in some King's Cake. I brought him a muffin today, so we always try to exchange some little food gifts to keep the tank loaded just in case, I don't know, Tyreek Hill gets traded and I need something to soak up all my White Claws or Fireball. Poncho, what up, brother? How do y'all think Kelsey will perform this year? I could see, let's say, hypothetically speaking, he gets more targets. He might have less touchdowns. He might still have more yards, but the level of productivity could go down a little bit because the offense isn't going to be as nearly as efficient. So, Trace's camera. I don't know. So then let's go to the next one from Christopher. Take more from the Chiefs, LOL, TM. What does that mean? TM? Take more from the Chiefs, LOL, TM. What is TM? Tomorrow? Take more from them tomorrow? I don't know. I mean, Dave Wilson says more targets. And I do. I think Travis Kelce ends up getting more targets, which I think what you're going to see is a very similar thing from what Hunter Renfrow went through last season. Hunter Renfrow was probably more of an efficient receiver before Henry Ruggs. However, once Henry Ruggs went down, he just got peppered with a lot more targets, and that's probably what you're going to see out of Travis Kelce. Like Darren Waller's a perfect example. Darren Waller's numbers are going to go down this season. Hunter Renfrow's numbers are going to go down this season. But that's because we got Davante Adams, and his numbers probably also might go down a little bit. But I'll take a more balanced attack, more balanced offense from top to bottom. We got 1,700 people watching right now. Oh, take more from the Chiefs. TM is Tyrann Mathieu. That's on me. Hey, I wouldn't be too upset about it. If we can get to 500 likes, let's go. We got 1,700 people watching. How about this? If we can get to 1,000 likes, I know it's a big-time stretch, big-time stretcher. We're going to crack open the fireball, and we're going to get this party going. But we got to get to 1,000 likes. Can we get there? What up, Raiders Dad _559. Raiders now have the best offense in the AFC West. They have the number 1 receiver in the NFL, a top 5 tight end, a top 15 quarterback, good running backs, also FKC, FDEN, and FLAC. I agree with everything that you have said here, though I'd give Waller a little bit more credit. Think he's top 3 or 4. Not that big of a deal. Carr to me is top 12, top 15. But I've said this before. If you don't get a better offensive line, it can get a little bit worried. And I still think the Broncos, they might actually have a better offense with Russell Wilson because their quarterback plays a little bit better. Jacobs is a better running back than Javonte Williams. The Raiders have a better wide receiver core from top to bottom, and they have the better tight end. However, I do think the Russell Wilson being the superior quarterback over DC might outweigh that, but now, and they probably have the better offensive line as well. It's close. Either way, it's very, very close. No doubt about that. Raider Dad 559. Cheers to you. Let's go to Tyler Lewis. Hope Pat is enjoying that $50 million. Here's the thing. Pat's not even making $50 million yet. Patrick Mahomes has got $35 million coming to him this year, $46 coming to him next year, and the number, not that it keeps going up and up, but there will be years after that where then it starts to hit the 50s. Remember, when he signed his deal, it was an extension. So Mahomes was still making that rookie deal money. That rookie deal money ends this season. So now you're going to have to see Patrick Mahomes play with a team where, sorry, you can't keep all of your superstars. It's just the truth. But you're right, Tyler. It's going to be a rude awakening for him. Let's go to Derek, one of my most loyal watchers. What's up, my brother? Before this trade, I was going to pencil the cheese in as 4th in the division anyway, since everyone else got exponentially better and they didn't, but this cements them as the worst team in the West. If you think the Kansas City Chiefs are the worst team in the AFC West, I want you to go ahead. You're okay. It's spam FKC. FKC. At first when you said the cheese, is that what Kansas City's known as? But no, the Cheeseheads are the Packers. That's what I mean. I think it's a typo for Chiefs. I think you were going to type Chiefs, and then Grammarly or spell check was like, nah, I think you meant cheese. You're like, you know what? We're just going to let it ride because they stink anyway. Derek, cheers to you. Cheers to everyone spamming those FKCs. Let's go to Maxwell. Is Gilmore an upgrade or downgrade over Haywood Jr.? In this defense, Stephon Gilmore would be better than Casey Hayward. However, I do think Casey Hayward and what the defense the Raiders ran last season with Gus Bradley would be the better player. So in terms of what are we going to get, Stephon Gilmore or Casey Hayward from last season, I think you're hoping that you can just have what Casey Hayward was able to bring to the table because he was a top 10 corner. So Casey Hayward would be worse than what Stephon Gilmore would be in this defense that we have this season. Let's go to I'm Batman. Has anybody seen the new Batman? I went to go see it with some new, you're fine, with some colleagues here at Chat Sports like 2 weeks ago. It was good, and I don't want to take that away. The new Batman was good. But Dark Knight and then the Batman, is it Batman Returns or something like that, the one with Bane, I think it was better. It was good, but the Dark Knight was better, and then the one with Bane was better. All right, so FO actually fleeced the Packers. F out of here actually fleeced the Packers. If Casey gets 5 picks for Hill and we sent 2 for Adams. I mean, no, I 100% agree. The Raiders, I said it before, it was an absolute steal. And I did a video yesterday on live about why the Raiders and Derek Carr won the trade. It was actually going to go out at 1 o'clock, but now that it's kind of shifted a little bit, that video will go out in a little bit, probably in a few hours from now. But the Tyreek Hill trade, even on top of that, proves of how good of a deal the Davante Adams trade was for the Las Vegas Raiders. Because is Davante Adams better than Tyreek? Yeah? Cool. Then the Raiders absolutely won that deal. Also, shout out to Batman. I know you're always watching, so how about this? Did you like the new Batman movie? Y for yes, N for no. If you haven't seen it yet, just type D for didn't see, because it was good. The new Batman movie was good. Have you seen it yet, Trace?
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't been able to make it out to the theater.
It's good. However, it's not as good as The Dark Knight, and it's not as good as Trace is stumbling over there. It's good, though. Somebody said Marvel. I mean, yeah, seeing a lot of Y's in there. Somebody said it sucked. I will say, Jack, who also does shows over here, was like, it was the best Batman movie ever. I thought that was a little bit of a letdown. Personally, I was like, all right, this guy, he's upset all the time, and he's freaking Batman, and he's a billionaire. What's there to be upset about? But either way, it's still worth to go see it. It is 2 hours and 47 minutes long, or about 3/4 of a Davante Adams trade video here on the Raiders board. So you can pick what you want to watch. Let's go to Danny Rhymes. You think the Raiders sign Mathieu or Gilmore? So Honey Badger or Stephon Gilmore. I still think that Gilmore is the more likely option. However, I would not be surprised if the Raiders didn't go out and get either of these players. But who would you rather have? Type TM or SG. Let me know down in the comment section. We're going to keep this party going. What up, Raider LBC? Remember, if you want to get those questions or those comments on the show, you can go ahead. And you can use hashtag Raiders, or you can super chat. Has Julio Jones been picked up, and is he an option for our offense? Julio Jones is still a free agent. I should weigh in that. However, I do not see it being a very likely thing happening. I mean, the Raiders could use another wide receiver, right? And Julio Jones is phenomenal. If you're able to get him on a incentive-based style of deal where you pay him on a cheap base, and yet the incentives can go very, very high up there, it'd be intriguing to me. But I would rather invest the money in Julio Jones and give that to a right tackle. Give that to somebody like Stephon Gilmore. Give that to somebody, I don't know, as a left guard. Because even though that, sure, you can upgrade, we got Davante Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. Those are your top 3 targets. We'd all agree with that? Cool. Bryan Edwards isn't a bad 4th option. Foster Moreau, let's say 5th. You know, Demarcus Robinson, your 6th option in an offense. Like, that's more than enough to get by. However, Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, more options there. We have a lot of offense, but I want to be able to build that offensive line. So I love Julio, but I would rather take that money for Julio Jones and give it to someone else because he's also had a lot of injuries. We got a $20 super chat. You know what? I think it's fireball time. You guys ready to drink here a little bit? Remember, every $20 super chat that comes in, we're going to get the fireball a-rolling. And if we get the 500 in supers, we'll get the boot out. If you guys want the boots, type Das Boot. I'm ready to celebrate. Trizzy Trace is ready to celebrate.
Hey, let's party.
You ready to party? Let's party. We need a right tackle. Oh, man, that fireball hit me. Woo! It's a little early for fireball. 12:53. I was going to say in the morning, but I guess it's the afternoon, so that makes it a little bit better. So far, all I've had to eat today was a protein bar. So hopefully that protein bar can really soak up that fireball. We need a right tackle. FKC, you're right. In terms of my top 5 right tackles, and I discussed this a little bit yesterday, Daryl, live on the Raiders Report. Remember, I go live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, always breaking down the latest going on around the silver and black. But the top 5 right tackles that I had were Billy Turner, who actually played on the Green Bay Packers last season. At number 2 was Riley Reef. He played with the Cincinnati Bengals. At 3, and I base this on overall how good I think the player is and how much the Raiders would have to pay him. Cornelius Lucas is my best bang for your buck. He was a right tackle last year for Washington. Number 4 was David Quessenberry. And number 5, I believe, was Bobby Massey. So those would be my top 5 right tackles I'd go out and get. However, I have heard that the Raiders are confident in Brandon Parker, and they are confident in Jermaine Illuminor. And Jermaine Illuminor, before he came to the Raiders, was on the New England Patriots. And personally, I thought Illuminor actually played okay in spurts last season when he was actually on the field. I won't sleep well knowing that our offensive line is going to consist of either Brandon Parker, Jermaine Illuminor on the right side. Maybe the Raiders decide to kick over Denzel Good at right tackle, though I think Denzel's more suited to be a left guard. So you put Denzel Good as your left guard. Is Brandon Parker and is Jermaine Illuminor going to be enough to get by right tackle unless you go out and get somebody like a Abraham Lucas, 3rd round, pick number 86 in the NFL draft? Daryl, appreciate the $25 super chat, my brother. Let's go to Francisco. Your California realtor, Renz. Let's go. AFC West realtor, Raiders. A lot of other hashtags in there. Francisco, I appreciate you. I know you and I have DM'd a few times before about your realtor business. I mean, I always say, like, if we could figure out a way to get more of y'all to sponsor the Raiders Report, I would like to be able to do that in the off season. I know it's not a feasible thing for every single person to be able to do, but I wouldn't mind it having going down. But if anybody lives in California, if anybody's looking for a new home, I know Davante just bought his new home in Las Vegas, so it's too bad we're not still in Oakland, Francisco. But if you're looking for a new home, go hit up Francisco Harrow because he is your realtor, and he's also DM me, and he's ready to work as well. Let's go to Derek. I meant to say Chiefs. I know you did. I was just busting your balls. I was using text-to-talk and apparently didn't like my word. Also, the Batman is the worst live-action Batman movie. Wow. That's a bold take. I'll say this.
Those are fighting words for Jack Lauderay.
I did not think there was nearly enough action for 2 hours and 47 minutes. I will say you should go absolutely see it in IMAX. Give you that whole bigger experience of it all. Like, it definitely makes it worth it to me. But I know you meant Chiefs, and I always can tell when people do text-to-talk because I got a few guys who always DM me on Instagram or on locals, and I'm like, y'all, I can tell you're doing text-to-talk because the words that are coming out right now, it's almost like, when you click out of a web page and they're like, are you sure? And then you still go ahead and you click yes. That's what I imagine with some of the text-to-talk. They're like, really? That's what you're going to go with? You're going to go with this language? Cool? All right. Let's send it anyway. Let's go to Noah. What up, man? Thoughts on reporting Gilmore wants to play with the Las Vegas Raiders? So, if this is the guy that I think you're talking about, which let me just double confirm because there's been some dude on Twitter who is an absolute hack, and I think this is the guy that you're talking about. I just want to make sure that I can double confirm because, yeah. So if you guys see a tweet from, his name is Leonardo Pagnotti, he is the prime example of I'm going to tweet out 100 things, hope that one thing sticks, delete the other 99. He has tweeted out on 5 different occasions, on 5 different contracts, about the Raiders closing in on the Honey Badger and Stephon Gilmore. Why? Because if it happens, then he can be like, oh, look, I was right. Do not trust this guy. He's not a credible source. I don't even know if he's a real person. But Twitter accounts pop up like this all the time during free agency. Why? Because people are willing to believe it. Let's go to Tyler Lewis. Maybe a hot take. I like hot takes, Tyler. But I truly believe that the addition of Adams gives us 2 wide receivers who can separate extremely fast, takes a lot of pressure off the offensive line. I will say I think Davante Adams has the best release off the line in the National Football League. I also know Hunter Renfrow is really good at it as well. Darren Waller makes it difficult, which is going to help DC, and I'm not trying to take that away. However, I've also seen DC be at his best when he has more than enough time, when he's not afraid that he's going to get hit, and the Raiders can stretch the ball down the field, because that's what I want to see. I'm confident in the Raiders' offense. The Raiders' offense is going to be better. And when you have more two tight end sets out there, I think a legitimate offensive set could be two tight ends where you have Darren Waller, Foss Moreau. You throw out Hunter Renfrow and Davante Adams as your top two receivers. You have Jacob Johnson as a fullback. You have Josh Jacobs in there as your running back. You know, like, that's a pretty interesting offensive set to run. Now, you can obviously take away the fullback as well, but yeah, I mean, you're going to see a very interesting Raiders offense this season because there is a lot of talent on offense. Derek Carr, even though we have Davante Adams, Derek Carr is still the most important player on the offense. And to make sure he's healthy, because that's how this whole thing moves. If Derek goes down, the season's over. The season will be over. I'm not confident. And Garrett Gilbert, please. Garrett Gilbert stinks. Garrett Gilbert's a little bit better than Nathan Peterman. You still need to go out and probably add another quarterback. But if Derek goes down, season's over. And I don't want that to happen. Let's go to Shazam. That's what I say after... Yeah, that's what Trey says, too, apparently, every time he finishes. Shazam! Finish time doing this long-time watcher. First time Super Chat. I'll take a drink to that. Mitch, I personally love the Batman, and it is the most comic accurate Batman. So I have heard that, and I've actually heard Jack said the same thing. If you like the comic books, if you're a big comic book fan, then you also will relate to this Batman a lot more. I only see it as a great movie to us big comic readers. Glad you liked it at least. I liked it. I wanted a little bit more action, and that's probably just for me, just being like, I want to see more fighting scenes. I want to see Batman dropping the people's elbow, RKO, choke slamming some people. That's what I want to see out of the Batman. I also wish he would actually use a weapon here or two, but you know what? I'm not going to be too upset about it. I know from some people it was pretty good. What up, Jeremy Chugs? Appreciate you watching. Let's go to Valdez. You should check out Jiu-Jitsu Kaisen Zero. Movie was fire. Here's the issue. I'd have to spell that first, and if I try to spell it, I have to take a screenshot of that one because there's a lot going on with that name. But if you're saying it's good, I will take your word for it. And then I know my girlfriend, she's heading to Miami for a business trip in a few weeks, and I'm going to have almost a whole week to myself. It's just going to be Chuck and I partying. I'm going to get Chuck some doggy strippers, and we're going to have a hell of a time. So maybe while that's going on, I'm going to also go ahead and watch this movie as well. Let's go to Papaya Man 89. We need to beef up the O-line. You're right. You need to upgrade the offensive line. There's still some money out there to go ahead and do it. I don't know how much money the Raiders have in terms of salary cap because over the past 48, 72 hours, the amount of moves that the Raiders have made, and it's still TBD. But when I see Morgan Moses go for 3 years, 15 mil, I'm like, yeah, we can still absolutely go ahead and upgrade the right tackle position. Let's go to Franzi. What up, my man? Remember, if you guys send in a super chat, we will put you up here on the show. We went live for the breaking news around Tyreek Hill. Patrick Mahomes will look like Jackson Mahomes this season. I'll tell you what, man. The three people, since I've been doing this show, that I probably can't stand the most, number one is FAB. Number two would probably be Trent Brown. And number three might be Jackson Mahomes. Are there three? I don't know if there's three worst people that I can't stand right now, out excluding what's going on in the world and everything else outside. I'm talking about football related because there's definitely a few other people out there in politics and we'll say in a certain country that I don't really like very much right now. But gotta love this offseason. Tyreek will get overthrown by Tua. Tyreek's going to realize really quick that he's going to miss Patrick Mahomes, and sure, you're going to have a lot of money. But Tyreek, I also think, is going to, that's a good way to say this. I also think Tyreek needed to look himself in the mirror and say, this Chiefs team did stick behind me through a lot. Tyreek had a lot of issues. He wasn't allowed to go to the combine because he was a knucklehead. We'll use that term. Chiefs drafted him anyway. And then everything that happened around Tyreek Hill a few years ago, Chiefs said it's okay, stuck by him anyway. So I actually thought that it was kind of a gut punch to Kansas City what Tyreek ended up doing. But I also know this, that Tyreek's agent lives in Miami, and the assistant general manager of the Miami Dolphins was a part of the Kansas City Chiefs, the team that drafted Tyreek Hill. So there was a lot of connections there, and as soon as the rumblings came out, I mean, the reason why the trade happened so quick is because the amount of conversations that have been going on and the connections that the Dolphins had with Kansas City. Let's go to Christopher Leonard. What up, my brother? Mitch! How likely are we getting Fisher or Reef to help out our O-line? So Fisher's a left tackle, so I don't see that one happening because I'm not moving Colton over to the right side, and Colton's one of the best left tackles in the National Football League. And then you got Reef. I still think that Riley Reef would be an upgrade over Brandon Parker, and he would be an upgrade over Jermaine Illuminor. However, the fact that Cincinnati went to the Super Bowl, I've heard from actually a few people that Riley's looking for a little bit of extra money because he was like, well, hey, I played in a Super Bowl. I helped us get there. Let's go to Jackson. Raiders get Stephon Gilmore. Top 10 best defense in the league next season. Go Raiders. Oh, also Mitchell, we bleed silver and black. Go Raider Nation. I know Raider Nation bleeds silver and black. There is not a doubt in my mind. It's the reason why I do what I do. And hell, I posted a super chat that I got yesterday on the live show about some guy watching the Raiders report while his wife was in labor. Like, that is the most insane and incredible thing that I could possibly understand.
Because Raider Nation's built different.
No doubt about it. Also, just got a super chat from Jason Frank. Shout out to you. My graphic is wrong. My Twitter handle is wrong on the graphic screen. That's funny. I think Trace was just getting too quick with the fingers. So, shout out to Jason Frank. You know what, Jason? That is a real time. That's a real one. So I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to take a shot to Jason. Everyone, if you're at home right now, if you know what numbers that they should be, spam them down in the comments because my name is Mitchell Renz. You know the numbers. People are probably going ahead and people are like, oh my God, he changed his Twitter handle. He changed his Instagram. That's funny as hell.
Sorry about that, guys.
Cheers to all y'all. Cheers to everyone. I think we're almost about to get it fixed. We just got to let it sink up. Raider. We got Alonzo, Monty Peters, I.H. Ham, Mario, C. Raider. What up, my man? Is it almost updated? Cruz Salvas, Rudy, 5453. Annette Torres, Moise Games. If you type the number that you're supposed to type, I'll go ahead and give you a shout out until it's updated. We got Kid Cupid, Ryan Koch, Mitch 2028. What does that mean? I'm not sure. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Got it. 365. I'll tell you this. If you guys want me to run for president, the only president that I'll run for is Raiders president. That's the only one that I will go ahead and I'll run for, because I don't know if I should actually run for the real president. I don't think that would be good. That's not the best of my ability. However, if I could run for Raiders president, I would 100% do that. Why not, right? Let's go to the next super chat from Shazam. This Batman is only in his second year, so he doesn't have all the gadgets yet. This was more to set up the future for sure. P.S. I got some brand new Raiders jerseys we can give away over the summer. You don't got to give me your Raiders jerseys. I'd rather you hang on to your jerseys. I appreciate your kindness. I appreciate everything that you got going on. You're a very kind human being. If you guys are going to do this stuff, just put me full screen or just put me on screen. I think that'd be the better thing to do. In terms of you giving away a jersey, like, again, very, very kind of you. You do not have to do that. However, still at the end of the day, keep all your jerseys. But at the gadgets, though, I mean, Batman's a badass. I wanted more of a badass character, and he kind of seemed like a whiny baby. I mean, be honest with me. If you've seen the Batman movie, he kind of seemed like a little whiny baby. I'm like, you're a billionaire, and you're Batman. What is there to be upset about? I don't understand what there is to be upset about. Sounds good. Shazam! Appreciate the super chat to you. We got 1,570 people watching right now. Over 700 likes. And if you guys are having a good time and you want to keep this party going, keep the super chats flowing in here, I need a sip of my drink, so hang on a second. Shout out to Raider Nation. If you want a shout out, go ahead and start spamming Raiders right now because we got a lot more stuff to go ahead. We went live for the Tyreek Hill news, and we're going to keep on going through some super chats. So if you want a shout out here on the Raiders Report, go ahead and start screaming Raiders down in the comments. Shout out to our Rumble audience. We are live on Rumble. We went live for the breaking news that the Kansas City Chiefs went ahead and they traded away star wide receiver Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins for 3 picks this year and 2 picks next year. If you guys want even more exclusive content around the Raiders, then go ahead and give us a follow on Rumble at rumble.com/Raiders Report. We're always going to be going ahead keeping you guys up to date, and I'm having a little friendly competition with everyone else here in the Chat Sports Studios. The Raiders Report, in terms of Rumble followers, is in second place. We are behind NFL Daily. I want to catch NFL Daily. I want to triple the Chiefs Report. I want to triple Cowboys, everyone else here, and show my bosses that Raider Nation likes to get down. So if you're spamming Raiders right now in the comments, go ahead, give us a follow on Rumble at rumble.com/Raiders Report. Let's go back to some of these super chats here. We're going to keep on walking you through because we went live for the Tyreek Hill news. Once we get through, let's say, the next few super chats, Trace, then we'll go back to the news. We'll go on and walk through everything about what has happened today and why we're live. So we got one coming in from Jair Oggs. I have no idea. Jair. Hieroglyphics? Yo. Wait, hieroglyphics. Or hieroglyphics? Is that how you say it? Is that it? I don't know. All right, since the front office is looking for more draft capital, who do you think is the most likely to get traded? Hopefully not Waller, LOL. There was a report that came out yesterday around from Peter King, who is a very credible source, that said there are people inside the Raiders organization that are not happy that the Raiders don't have a second or a first-round pick this year. Not that they regret the Davante Adams move whatsoever, but you could see Las Vegas and a draft that is being hosted in Las Vegas get even more interesting here and move on from a few players. And I'll say this, the 3 players that I think are the most likely to get traded, I'm not saying I want them to get traded, I'm saying when I hear that report from Peter King, I think the 3 players most likely to get traded, I might even be able to throw in a 4th name here. Darren Waller would be the only dude that you're getting a first-round pick for. Trayvon Mullen, if you get Stephon Gilmore. Josh Jacobs, if you're confident that Kenyon Drake is going to be ready to go for week 1. And then there's one more name. And then Jonathan Abram. You could also see the Raiders make a few moves later on in the offseason because you're going to get about $20 million. $20 million once the Carl Nassib and once the Corey Littleton deals end up going down. You're going to get $20 million after June 1st. Also, former Raiders player, defensive tackle Jelly, Justin Ellis, has just signed a 1-year deal with the New York Giants. So a very interesting name. New York Giants go out and get a old defensive tackle, Justin Ellis. So happy for the former Raider there. Let's go to the next super chat from McCombs Finest. DC could have a better year than Russ. You're right, he could have a better year than Russ. He could have, now that Tyreek Hill's gone, if I said this yesterday that the best bet that you can make right now, and you should have made it yesterday because the odds are probably a little bit better, Derek Carr winning the MVP. Derek Carr was a front runner for the MVP last season, and now with the amount of attention that's going to be around the AFC West, because the NFL media, if they start talking about a division a lot, certain teams, more publicity goes there, more votes go there. It's how it works at the popularity contest. It's why the Dallas Cowboys every single year, Dak's in the top 5, Cowboys top 5 for Super Bowl. Why? People are more willing to go ahead and bet on it. However, whoever wins this division this season, the quarterback, deserves to be in the MVP race. And I really, truly believe that Derek Carr with Davante Adams, if he's able to get around 4,300, 4,400 yards, you got to be around 35 touchdowns. That would be a career high for DC. The fumbles got to come down. The interceptions have to come down. But DC could have himself a very good statistical season. However, I would much rather have DC have a higher touchdown percentage, lower turnover rate, and if the Raiders can win more games running a solid football with Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake, That's the only thing I care about. Shazam! I have a bunch of jerseys already. I have a jersey business, so I don't need any more. I'd rather send them out to Raider Nation. Well, how about this, Shazam? Give me your Instagram handle. I know it's probably going to require another super chat or throw it down in the comment section. Give me your Instagram. I'm going to DM you after today's show, and then we're going to discuss about maybe getting your jersey business up on the show. How about instead of giving away jerseys, you sponsor the show, we'll do some jersey giveaways. And actually, a few days ago, I had a few people ask me, Mitch, could you sign a Raiders jersey for me? Which kind of blows my mind that people want my signature. But you know what? If maybe we could go ahead and make something like that happen, we can just give away some extra signed stuff. I can reach out to some of the Raiders players that I know. I'm always on board to give back to the nation because you guys deserve it. And if we can get something like that going, let's go ahead and let's make it rock, Shazam. Let's go to Sam. What up, man? First, Davante. I've also seen a lot of spellings of Davante, and this one is completely wrong. Davate. Close, though. Now this. We'll look back at this offseason one day and say this is when the tides changed in the AFC West. I've been covering the NFL here at Chat Sports since 2017, and I'll say that I've been paying close enough attention to the NFL for probably since 2010 is when I really got serious in my whole fantasy football career, which, yes, I was only in high school, but I paid attention to it. I think you guys can like me whether you like me or not. I work my ass off, and everyone here at Chat Sports works their ass off. So when I tell you I've been looking at the NFL since 2010 very closely, this is the craziest offseason I've ever seen. This is the craziest offseason in NFL history, and I think from a Raiders standpoint, a lot of bad has happened in 2021. 2020 sucked also, if we're being 100% honest. 2022 has been almost as good as what you possibly could have hoped. Yes, the Chargers got J.C. Jackson. Yes, they got Khalil Mack. Yes, the Broncos got Russell Wilson. But this is a very interesting thing from top to bottom. There's no doubt about that. How about this? Who's the worst team in the AFC West? Let's get some votes going in here. Type KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. Type LAC for the Los Angeles Chargers. DEN for the Denver Broncos. Or I want you to go ahead and I want you to type LV for the Las Vegas Raiders, though I think you would desperately be wrong. So who's the worst team here? Let me know what y'all are thinking. Let me know what you're thinking. Keep the votes coming in here. Keep them coming. A lot of DENs and a lot of KCs. How do I get... All right, so what we're going to be doing, guys, we're going to keep on breaking stuff down here. And then, Trace, if you could get me, or if somebody from Chat Sports could get me the live link to Rumble, that way I can give some shout-outs to some of the people watching over on Rumble. That would be fantastic, but I need the live link. So, not just this link that you're seeing here. I need to be actually get into, like, the dashboard, because I can't seem to find where the live link is. So, type KC for the Chiefs, or I want you to go ahead and type LACDEN. We're going to go give some shout-outs here to some of the peeps that are watching on YouTube. We got Julian says Denver, Pizzle4420 is typing SD. I think you mean for San Diego. Or I believe one person said a Wales type WV. If you know, you know. We got Dylan typing the peace sign for Tyreek Hill gone. I see a lot of Denvers in there, and I don't really blame people for typing Denver. However, I think Denver got a lot better this offseason for the simple fact of simple fact of they went out and traded for Russell Wilson. Like, they have a lot of talent around them. Offensively, the defense needs to get a little bit better, I would say, in Denver. But this is the most open the AFC West has been in a very long time, and that is because the Kansas City Chiefs traded away Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins. I mean, that is just an absolutely mind-blowing thing. So, nope. Actually, maybe it is. All right, y'all, this is what we're going to do here. I want to give some shout outs to some of the people here that are watching, and we got a lot of people watching over here on YouTube. But you know what? I'm going to throw a link here in the chat. And if you go spam Raiders over on our Rumble's live show, throwing it in the live chat right now. That's me, in the live chat. Click on that link, throw a Raiders in the live chat over on Rumble, and we're going to go ahead and give you a shout out. So from the remainder of the show, we're going to do shout outs, a lot of shout outs on Rumble. Sound good? I'm trying to be able to do a lot of Raiders content here from top to bottom. I want to get more people over on Rumble because Rumble gave me an awesome opportunity where, and I know some people are like, oh, well, what about YouTube? When you got to think about the way Chat Sports is made, all right, I'm going to give you an inside look at what my daily routine is. I make Raiders videos now, let's say 40% of my day here at Chat Sports is Raiders videos. Rumble approached me in Chat Sports and said, hey, could we get Mitch to make an 100% Raiders video? So I know I make a lot of content now, and I love the content that I make here at Chat Sports. However, if you guys could get even more Raiders content, Rumble is the place that I'm going to be able to do a lot of that stuff. And sure, we might not get many people there off the jump, and that's okay. Shout out to LA Oak, LV Raider fan, Tropical Remy, Rudy5343. But you know for a long time that I've been striving, and I mean really striving forward to do only Raiders content. And the more followers we get on Rumble, the more opportunities that I'm going to be able to do that. It's free to watch on Rumble. You don't got to pay anything. It's literally just like another platform, very similar to YouTube. It's just these guys are giving me an opportunity to give more content, more information to you. We just got to build up this page big enough to the point where they're like, okay, we believe in you. They're going to invest in us. And then more Raiders content. I mean, that's what it's about. I don't want to have to do all the other stuff I do here at Chat Sports. I want to do Raiders stuff only. So if you guys could, head on over to Rumble. Watch us over there for a little bit. We'll give shout-outs from both sides. I mean, it's a lot easier to get a shout-out on Rumble than it is YouTube. That I can guarantee you. Raiders Report. What up? You have to click to play the video. Yes, guys. You got to click to play the video. I'm not frozen. You got to click to play it. We got Tropical Remy, Boom Raider. Shout out to all y'all watching right now. Shout out to everyone. Brandon says, appreciate you. I'm Punchy43. Appreciate everyone tuning in. So the reason why we went live, y'all, is because of the breaking news. Okay, I can't. The breaking news of Tyreek Hill getting traded to the Miami Dolphins. I mean, that was absolutely wild. No doubt about it. If you guys want to shout out here, go ahead. Give us a follow on Rumble at rumble.com/Raiders Report. Let's go to some more super chats coming in here. Yeah, why not? Let's go to Andres. So any news on Gilmore? P.S. Can you shout out my brother Harry, the license man? Shout out to Harry. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Or Harry, the license man. If Andres, if you could take a screenshot, post this on Twitter, post it on Instagram, just make sure you tag me in it. IG's probably the easier way to do it because I see that a lot easier. And then just throw it up there on your Instagram story, tag me, and I'm more than happy to share it as well. So Harry, the license man. Cheers to you, brother. Let's go to Ian Rapoport here because this is what really got the whole day going. This came out bright and early today before the Chiefs traded away. Tyreek Hill. It said, another blockbuster deal coming despite an offer from the Chiefs that would make superstar Tyreek Hill one of the highest paid receivers. So not the highest paid receivers. Extension talks have stalled, and Kansas City has now given Hill's agent permission to seek a trade. The reason why that was big time, Rosenthal, who's Tyreek Hill's agent, lives in Miami. Also, the Miami Dolphins assistant GM worked with the Kansas City Chiefs when they drafted Tyreek Hill. So there was a lot of connections there trying to get Hill down to Miami. And as soon as I saw this, the entire Chat Sports team and myself, we started just scrambling like, hey, man, we're getting ready to go live. And, I mean, I'm looking at everyone on Rumble right now. Shout out to Mr. Raylan Maxwell. Shout out to Trap Jones, Tropical Remy, I See Faces, Punchy33. Everyone was excited because I think we all knew that meant Tyreek Hill was about to get traded. So the deal that ended up going down was this. The Miami Dolphins, they got Tyreek Hill. The Kansas City Chiefs got a first-round pick this year, so a 29 overall, a second and a fourth-round pick, and then a fourth and a sixth-round pick. So for the Dolphins, you were able to keep both your first-round picks next season. Sure, you paid Tyreek Hill essentially 4 years. I believe it's $120 million with $72 million in guaranteed money. Hill got paid, no doubt about it, but you're building around your young quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa. So the way I want you guys to go ahead and grade this is this. A, B, C, D, or F. I want you to grade the Tyreek Hill trade, and we're giving shout-outs here. So if you're over on Rumble and you get your grades in, we're going to go ahead and get a shout-out to all y'all. If you're like, wait a minute, I want a shout-out here, then go ahead and click on that link that I'm throwing in the YouTube chat right now. Head on over to Rumble and get those grades in, because I'm giving shout-outs to people that get those grades in for the Tyreek Hill trade. Tropical Remy says an A. We got Taller Dude 04 says C. I mean, it's an A grade. This is about as good as what you could have asked for the Raiders. I get it. The Chiefs get more salary cap space. They get more chances to get talented players. They're not going to get a Tyreek Hill. That I can promise you. A Tyreek Hill is not going to happen. We got an A coming in from A Raider 876. I'm Punchy says A for LV. John Recon says B. SoCal Raider 93 F. You must be a Chiefs fan. I don't know. Mont 23 says C. Mex is going to go with a B. A is going to go with an A. We got Raiders 2720. Mitch just made my Rumble account. You're welcome. I appreciate you, brother. Let's go to Mont 23A. Trap Jones A. Mont 23A. Greedy Raider fan A. Shout out to you. Somebody said too many picks for the Dolphins. No. I think if anything, you just saw also how good the trade was for the Raiders to get Davante Adams. You gave up only a first and a second, and now Tyreek Hill's making more money. Personally, that just goes to show how much Dave Ziegler and how much Josh McDaniels play chess when a lot of other people play checkers. I mean, it's a very copycat type of league, and I just showed you that deal for Tyreek. Now look at this one. One of the things that the Patriots always did well was that expression. When certain teams played checkers, the Patriots played chess. They were always one step ahead of everyone. And the deal that this ended up going down, Ian Rapoport has also confirmed it, that this trade of the Raiders going and getting Davante Adams was what really kickstarted Tyreek Hill and his team say, well, wait a minute, Davante Adams has got $28 million. I want that type of money. Kansas City's like, well, hang on a second. We were just talking. You were okay with 21.5. What changed? This changed. This happened. Since this happened, everything totally flipped. So not only did the Raiders go out and get Davante Adams in this deal, the Raiders were also able to get Tyreek Hill out of the AFC West. I mean, that deserves a round of applause. I mean, it really, truly does. I mean, that is the ultimate proof of chess to checkers. And I'm going to keep on going with that expression because that's what it is. It's chess to checkers here. So out of Davante Adams and Tyreek Hill, I want to know down in the comment section, who's the better receiver? Because when you look at both those details, Tyreek's getting, well, Miami gave up more to get Tyreek, okay? Also, Tyreek Hill's getting paid more than Davante Adams. However, I think everyone watching right now is going to type DA because Tyreek is an incredible athlete, and he's going to be a great weapon down in Miami. And I'm not going to try to take that away. But Tyreek was also very good because he was a perfect fit with Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, two very creative people. Shout out to Tropical Remy, DA, SoCal Raider, 93 DA, Taller Dude, 04 DA, giving shout-outs over on Rumble. But you have to realize that Davante Adams is the better overall wide receiver. And Davante Adams is going to put up superior numbers than Tyreek Hill this season. Both players go to different spots. That's totally fine. But I guarantee you this, when you go back and look at the numbers this year, Davante Adams is going to put up better numbers. I'm not saying that's the only reason that Tyreek's not as good as Davante. Derek Carr's clearly superior than Tua Tagovailoa. In fact, I'm probably one of the biggest Tua Tagovailoa haters out there because I just don't see it in terms of him ever materializing and being a good quarterback. But Tyreek's going to struggle. His numbers are desperately going to go down That's just the simple truth. So we went live, y'all, because some Raiders news happened that Tyreek Hill's no longer in the AFC West. And I was like, you know what, man, I want to go ahead. I want to break all this down with the nation, have a good time. Let's celebrate here a little bit. I got a few more super chats that I want to get to over on YouTube. And I see some coming in from, who do we got here? I see C. Reader says, Raiders go out and get Dixie Normus, and the secondary is set. So, however, I've been doing more homework on my third-round targets, and I just Googled Dixie Normus, and I understand now why you wanted me to say it. Because if you say it, listen to it. Say it. Come on, that's funny. You got me. Jars. LML from Big L. Lamar. Sammy. Dixie Normus. That's funny as hell. Everyone spam Dixie Normus down in the comments from Tax, Jeff Bealey, Allen, Swayze. I promise y'all, if I really get into what I'm doing here, I definitely can be a little bit of a Ron Burgundy, no doubt about it. So if you guys want, remember, it's don't go to it. It's not updated. So, E-Manny says the Chiefs would never give the Raiders Hill. Of course not. I mean, we knew that was never going to happen, right? I mean, we knew as soon as all the trade rumors came out that there was a 0% chance the Chiefs would have ever traded anybody. Like Tyreek Hill to the Broncos, never would have traded him to anyone. If you need help, just slack someone. So, yeah. And then Papaya Man, his super chat is, curious to see how McDaniels runs the offense. Last time he had a true number one wide receiver, Randy Moss, he put up ridiculous numbers. I'm going to disagree with this statement for the simple fact of this. New England, for a long time, has tried to find another wide receiver one. They've just failed miserably. Like, if you want to talk about a team that has not done a very good job of being able to find wide receiver talent, whether that be in the draft, whether that be in free agency, New England hasn't done it. The only good move I'd say from a wide receiver standpoint that New England's been able to do, maybe two moves. Brandon Lloyd was good for about a year. And then the other person would probably be Randy Moss. I mean, I can't think of another name. I can't think of another name in terms of the New England Patriots being able to go out and get somebody, because Nelson Aguilar, we saw what he was able to do with Las Vegas. Heads on over to New England, nothing good happens out of it. So, yeah, not great whatsoever. Also, I mean, shout out to C Rider. That was hilarious, because I was like, man, I've been doing all this homework, I'm doing all this research, and yet Jeff says, oh my God, laughing so hard right now, almost pissed myself. If you pee yourself from that joke, somebody needs to put that on Instagram. That's an ultimate L. Nigel said Julian Edelman. I mean, Julian Edelman and Wes Welker, they were able to find those dudes, but they were more slots. They weren't number ones. When I think of a number one, I think of an X receiver, a prototypical X receiver. New England has absolutely positively failed on trying to go out and try to find that. It's been an absolute disaster in that term. So, yes, you're able to find underneath route players, but I also think that had a lot to do with the fact that, hang on a second. Just saw something. I got to double check here. But I think that was more to do with, what's his name? Tom Brady. So I just saw something pop up on my screen here, and I need to be able to double check something. Very, very interesting. Seeing some curious rumors out there that Stephon Gilmore might be headed to Kansas City. It's just a rumor. It's being thrown out there. Hope that's not true. That would be bad. If he goes to Kansas City, that'd be just the worst thing ever. Haven't seen anything yet, though, from any reliable sources. I got a little bit nervous, I'm not going to lie. So what was your one-word reaction to the Tyreek Hill trade? Mine was just shocked. I mean, proof that anything can happen in the National Football League. I mean, year in and year out, the amount of times that we make shows here, and I'll look at the comments, and they'll be like, Mitch, that would never happen. This would never happen. Oh, you're an idiot for even thinking about that. It's why we talk about rumors. It's why we talk about everything that goes on, because anything's possible. Do I think that's where we started the Chucky head rumor head, which we're about to go change that up very, very soon, I can promise you. However, it's why we started it, because anything possible can happen. It's just the God-honest truth. It's the God-honest truth, man. Somebody said, huh? From their one word, goodbye, whoa. I think the piece is another good one-word reaction to it. Let me know, guys, down in those comments. Jeffrey said enormous. Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. Tua is trash. You missed 2 super chats. I didn't miss any. We'll get to them. I promise you, we're getting to all of them. But when the Raiders went ahead here and they made the move for Davante Adams, that's really what jump-started a lot of this Tyreek Hill stuff happening. I mean, Rapoport posted about it. We know that it ended up going down from top to bottom. James McDonald said, good riddance. Are you a dad, James? Because that's what my dad used to always say, good riddance. Rumor on Gilmore is KC or Chargers. The rumor on Gilmore right now is that he is looking into joining. I saw that Gilmore's looking to join the AFC West. I don't see it being the Chargers. I see it potentially being the Chiefs now that they have a lot more money, now that they freed up some other stuff, and they're going to have a better defense going up against the offenses that are about to happen here in the AFC West this upcoming season. But until it's official, I don't know. I'm going to wait to see what I got. Pretty interesting stuff, though. Are we good? Let's go to Super Chat coming in here from Danny. Mitch, thanks for all the content. Number 1 show. Danny, I appreciate you. My birthday is Saturday, and all I wanted was Davante to the Raiders. And now that Tyreek is gone, best birthday wish come true. Let's go Raiders! Raider Nation for life. I'm with you, Danny. And I want everyone to type HBD down in those comments for Danny, because this is a hell of a birthday present. There's absolutely zero doubt about that. I know I was hyped about it. I know a lot of people out there were excited about it. And the Davante move happened, stoked. But this Tyreek Hill one is the absolute cherry on top. Let's go to Patrick B. Adams is a born Raider. He truly wants to play in the silver and black. Just win, baby. So, in terms of Adams being a born Raider, the picture of him in the Tim Brown jersey with the caption, somebody asked him, hey, what do you want to be? He said either NBA All-Star or NFL player. Davante wanted to play with his buddy DC. He wanted to come here to the silver and black. No doubt about it. I mean, it just proves that if you're a kid and you're watching the show, chase your dreams, man, because you just never know what can happen. You could be playing for the team that you grew up watching, the team that you went ahead and you were rooting for. So, again, another super chat that I've went through some of these other ones. Our system right now is struggling a little bit. I have verbally mentioned every single super chat in terms of Emaney. Said the Chiefs would never give it Raiders to Hill. L Raider 93 says, Mitch, y'all missed my first super chat earlier, which was from L Raider 93. So let me scroll back here and let me see if that's the truth. L Raider 93. L Raider 93. I don't know if I see it in there. We're scrolling back. If you said you sent in a super chat. Okay, yes, I do see one on here that says L Raider 93. It says J.C. Jackson is already on the media throwing a shot at Davante Adams saying, y'all better be ready for us. What would you say to that, Mitch? Good. I would say good. I like competition. I've always been somebody that, not that I don't like the way the NFL is going now, but imagine 30 or 40 years ago, and again, I wasn't alive during them, even back in the 90s with these NBA players, like, there were real rivalries. I don't really feel like that there's real rivalries in sports anymore, because instead of players hating each other after the game, they're like, yo, what's up, man, buddy, happy, oh, we lost the game, it's all good, you and I are boys, let's go meet up on the field, take a picture, do a TikTok dance, then you go on from there. I miss old rivalries, and if J.C. Jackson wants to bring that energy, I don't blame him, because he knows that the Raiders were interested in him, and he's not going to go to the team that he probably thought he was going to go to. He's a little bit butthurt, and now he's going to get to go up against Davante Adams twice a year. Cool. I like that action. I'm excited to see it because I want real rivalries in football. I mean, who misses them? Do you miss rivalries? If you do, type R down in those comments. I mean, I see from Mick Luffy says, I miss them too. I really, really, truly believe that rivalries make sports better. Duke, North Carolina, love watching it. Alabama, Auburn, love it. Ohio State, Michigan, love the rivalry. I think one of the reasons why people sometimes watch more college football is because college football still has those rivalries. So I want them back in the NFL, and I'm hoping that we can bring it a little bit. Shout out to Rob, Jeff Garcia, Robert Darr, Brokem Teal, Freddie, Nax, Breon, Slot, Sergio, Robert, Breon, Trevor, Jose. Much love to everyone who has tuned in and who has watched. We went live for the breaking news around Tyreek Hill, and I'm getting word now that we're probably going to be headed out. We're going to end the live show here. No more super chats have come in. So if anything else happens today around the silver and black, Big Daddy O says, Mitch, about that life, he won all the smoke. Well, Big Daddy O, I think J.C. Jackson's going to get too much smoke, and he's not going to be able to handle Davante Adams. We went live for the news that the Kansas City Chiefs traded away. What's up? No, you're fine. We went live for the breaking news that the Kansas City Chiefs traded away Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins. I was excited. I know Raider Nation was excited. This live video is going to end, and if anything else happens around the Raiders, we will keep you guys updated. Much love to the nation. Appreciate everyone and tuning in, and I want everyone to throw up those deuces because Tyreek Hill is out of the AFC West.